Hello guys, and welcome back once again to my channel. The name is always GH Fame. This video talks about the cost detail of a parapet design and their workmanship. By the end of this video, you will know whether to decide for parapet designs or not. So parapets are a popular choice for building design due to their versatility. They are constructed with a mixture of cement, sand, and water to hold together units such as bricks, blocks, or stones. The reason why I did a parapet design for this particular aspect of my wall was that it was looking too raw. I then decided to do a parapet design for that particular aspect. But in this video, I'm going to give you a full cost breakdown in case you want to do a parapet design for your whole fence wall. And I will also give you the cost of how much they charge per other faces such as windows and etc. So stick to the end of this video and get to know how much parapet designs can cost you for your projects. Right before I started mine, I thought they were very cheap. I had no idea how much they cost, but I was briefly told about how much they charge per windows and other stuffs. So before they give you an estimate, they need to come to site and check the aspects of where you want the parapet designs to be. Let's take mine for example. I wanted to do a little part of the fence wall, which is where the metal design is being fixed. So for that reason, they can't tell you the estimate over the phone. They need to come to site, check the area you want the parapet design to be, because most of the people prefer parapet designs on their windows and in front of their gate. So depending on the area you want the design to be, will also tells the cost and the estimate. I didn't spend much on mine because it was just a little place that I wanted to do it. But I was just surprised the first time the guy mentioned the workmanship to me, only because it was my first time. But I really come to understand it immediately. He breaks it down for me. One thing I like about them was that they are easily to understand. I told them my budget, we bargained, and they agreed to that. So don't be surprised when they give you an estimate. You can talk to them, tell them what you got, tell them your mind, and they are easily to understand. So the cost breakdown on how much I spent on this simple parapet design was, I bought 3 bags of cement, which we didn't use the 3 bags. We used only 1.5. I personally bought the cement before they came to site, because I had already given myself a raw estimate on the total number of cement I'm going to need. If you don't want to overdo an estimate by yourself, let them come to site and give you an accurate estimate, because the guy told me if he had come to site before, he would have let me buy only 2 bags of cement. It's not a bad idea to overdo an estimate by yourself, because you can still use the materials for other stuffs. It's always advisable for the artisan to come to site and give you a correct estimate. Some people prefer estimate over the phone call, which is not a good idea, because the artisan might not know the exact place you are talking about. So it's always good to let the artisan come to site and give you an accurate estimate. So we used only 1.5 bag for this simple parapet design, and the workmanship they took was 600 Ghana cedis. Initially, the workmanship was supposed to be 1,000 Ghana cedis, because that was the first amount he charged me. But I told him that was not my budget. So he asked me how much do I want to pay. And I told him my budget is roughly around 500 Ghana cedis. He told me point blank that 500 Ghana cedis is not good for this job. But one thing I really like about this guy was when he gave me the price and I also mentioned my budget, he was not angry. He told me I shouldn't worry. So we then came to conclusion on 600 Ghana cedis, and that was the final bargain for the workmanship. The overall cost of this simple parapet design was 855 Ghana cedis, which we bought 3 bags of cement. Each cost 85 Ghana cedis, making a sum total of 255 Ghana cedis, and the workmanship, which is 600 Ghana cedis, which gives a total cost of 855 Ghana cedis. One other thing I would also like you to understand is how much they charge for their workmanship. Depending on how big the job is will determine how much you are going to spend. So the estimate given in this video is to guide you and also give you a fair idea on how much you can spend in case you are doing a simple parapet for your project. I then go further, asking him a lot of questions about how much they charge in case you are doing it for your complete fence wall. So I take mine for example, and I ask him to give me a rough estimate on how much it's going to cost me if I want to do this same design for my entire fence wall. So the estimate he gave me was 7 bags of cement, and the workmanship he charged for the entire wall was 4,000 Ghana cedis. I've never negotiated the workmanship with him because I told him I'm being skeptic whether I would do a parapet design or I would just do a coping. So it's in between this decision. But my main idea for the fence wall was to do a coping. I don't really like overdoing things when it comes to finishing. I really like simple ideas and simple finishing. So I'm going to do coping for the wall, but I don't know if I'm going to change the idea later. But I think the coping looks very simpler and attractive. But most people prefer to do the parapet for their entire walls. The parapet are more attractive than the coping, but when you overdo the parapet, they becomes a little bit off. So I would advise you go for something simple and unique. The parapet can be done on your windows, your doors, your walls, and other areas. They add up a unique appearance to your building. Talking about how much they charge per windows, they charge according to the window size, in which the prices ranges from 250 Ghana cedis to 300 Ghana cedis per window and above. But let's say your windows are many. For that one, they can reduce the price for you because they are many. But let's say, for instance, you just want to do one window, then you have to pay not less than 250 or 300 Ghana cedis. That is when you have a normal window size. But if your window size is bigger, maybe it will be more than 300 Ghana cedis. So I'm giving you this estimate for you to have a fair idea on how much you can spend in case you want to do them on your windows. If you want to do them on your doors, it's also going to depend on the size of the door, but there's nothing to worry about. When they give you the estimate, you can tell them how much is your budget. If it's good for them, they will accept. If it's not good for them, they will tell you right away. It's all about how you negotiate with them. You speak well with them, they will also consider you. Don't negotiate for too long. Just accept the fact that it's their job. And it's not an easy job, but sometimes you may be surprised when they give you the estimate. All artisans are not the same. Same applies to how different they all does their job. Don't do too much of comparison when it comes to estimate. Always think about the professionalism. Some artisan may charge you less and still won't do the job right for you. Some will charge you less and do the job right. But mostly those who charge high does a professional job. So for me, I don't normally do too much of comparison. When you give me an estimate and it's good for me, I go ahead and allow you to do it. If you take a close look at this parapet design, you will see it's different from the ones you see outside. The ones I've been seeing outside mostly don't focus on the finishing. Some don't focus on the details. They just do it anyhow. They polish it and then leave it as is. I'm much focused on my finishing because the finishing is going to bring out the look of the building. So always keep an eye on your finishing. Ask the artisans questions if something is going wrong. Vibe with them and also alert them if they are doing the wrong thing. Don't forget you are the one paying, so you should pay exactly for what you get. I hope this video helps and give you a fair idea on how much you can spend on parapet designs. Kindly share your ideas and thoughts in the comment section. The name is always GH Fame, and I'll see you in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of the video.